Now this man here, he must be the most unfortunate person in the media, on TV, in the newspapers, or wherever he may be seen. This is from the full press conference. 2 Orlando shooting victims speak out about daily attack FNN. We've seen this chap in other videos, and his testimony, or that of the other who contends with him over the testimony of what happened in that cubicle that night, has been smashed to pieces. Himself basically in front of the public being told that he is a blatant liar, and yet he's in hospital. And you know, if you look at this testimony of this hospital, this video, okay? Scroll to the end and look at his face. If he'd have got a Kalashnikov, he would have shot every bugger in sight, beginning with the girl, whom we're going to deal with in a second. The absolute shock, hatred on his face, and I don't blame him. Because as we shall see in a moment, he gives a statement to the press. Very short statement. And the girl that takes over from him calls him a liar. Not to his face, but by presenting a different testimony and events of that night. Okay, we all know it's a false, it's just a story, no better than told all. But the way she does it, and the way he does it, is amazing. Amazing how they get at one another. It looks as though they've actually had a fallout in the green room, or whatever room they put these actors in. They've had a right old ding dong. Because let's go on with it and let's have a look. Let's see for ourselves.
Okay. Occurred. I never saw the face of the shooter. I didn't know if it was male, female. I didn't even hear the shooter speak. So it wasn't until I actually saw.
Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? He's not been asked any questions. Why did he include that into his testimony?
On the television, what the shooter actually looked like. So I didn't know anything about my friend Jeff, about the third friend we were with.
So he never heard the gunman speak. He never saw the face of the gunman. All he witnessed was firing. Okay, again, why would he say that he never saw the face or heard the gunman speak? What was the point in that?
This occurred. I never saw the face of the shooter. I didn't know if it was male, female. I didn't even hear the shooter speak. So it wasn't until I actually saw on the television what the shooter actually looked like. So I didn't know anything about my friend Jeff.
Well, there you go. You've got it from the horse's mouth. Okay? He testifies that the gunman did not speak when he turned up to fire upon that cubicle and a second cubicle. He did not speak. Now, we've had testimony from others that he did speak, that he got on his mobile phone and he telephoned for the police to inform them that he's got marksmen outside. If any police storm the place, they will be shot by the marksmen. They've got also vests on, and he's got a vest on, and so on and so forth. Now, he says the man didn't speak. Alright? Poor unfortunate little man. But why did he mention the fact that he didn't speak? Well, because I believe that he fell out with somebody. Now this, okay, testimony comes from the same piece of footage, the full press conference. 2 Orlando shooting victims speak out about deadly attack, FNN. Okay, This girl is sitting right next to, well, just close to the guy who has just spoken. What does she have to say? And she's an arrogant bitch. And bitch is the right word. She is a bitch. A reet bitch. I tell you, man, whew, wouldn't want to deal with that smug git. Oh.
Injured at the time, like I got shot in my leg, and it was actually pinned under the person who was laying right next to me. So it was very painful, and we laid there for hours and hours, hoping that someone came and got us, and hoping that the police would come through at that point in time and just like save us all. But throughout that period of hours, the gunman was in there with us, and he actually made a call to 911 from it, and everybody could hear it. Who was in the bathroom who survived.
Classic. Why did she say everybody could hear him of those that survived? In other words, matey boy, your first testimony, shove this down your pipe and smoke it. She's just verbally, testimonially wise attacked the chap sitting a few feet away from her, because he said the gunman didn't speak, that he said not a word. And now she's just made emphasis that he did, and nobody in the room got up and questioned this. Because somebody was blatantly lying there, the room would have gone quiet. The cameras would have gone down. The persons around these persons would have said, what the hell is going on here? What the hey? You know, say it again, babe. Come on.
The gunman was in there with us, and he actually made a call to 911 from it, and everybody could hear it. Who was in the bathroom who survived.
See, he's in with us, so don't mistake anything, boys and girls, that it wasn't away from us, but he was in with us, and everybody that survived heard him make the call. In other words, this guy down here is a lazy, well, he's a fecking liar, isn't he? She might as well have stood up and said he's a fecking liar, pointed to him. He's a fecking liar. Don't believe that fecking bit of shite. That's what she's just picking said. And people have not said anything. Go on, dear.
Hear him talking to 911, saying that the reason why he's doing this is because he wants America to stop bombing his country. And from that conversation from 911, he pledged his allegiance to ISIS, and he started speaking. And I believe after he got off the phone with 911.
What country is this that the coalition are bombing? Thought they're bombing Syria. Well, not fully bombing Syria. So Syria is his country. He wants them to stop bombing Syria, but he's with ISIS. ISIS is supposed to be against Syria, isn't it? The Shittites are against the Alawites. Anyhow, he's on the phone, and you've told every bugger in that studio and on the TV and in the newspapers, etc., on the radio, that there's a lying shite a few feet away from you. Don't believe him. Believe me.
And I believe after he got off the phone with 911, he started speaking in Arabic.
Oh, yeah.
And now that I know to be Arabic, at first I didn't know like what the language was.
That I know to be Arabic. I didn't know what language it was, but I know it to be Arabic, and then I didn't know what it was at first. You know what she's done, don't you? You know what she's done. She's been given to watch a piece of footage from another fella who's given testimony from the first cubicle of what happened, and she actually repeats virtually word for word, so she's been sitting there for some picking hours taking it in, of what the other fella says, with exceptions, as we shall see in the video, promoting ISIS. So she has a different testimony, a different statement she's imbibed than the filth as she's making him out to be, because he's a pigging liar, a few feet away. Carry on.
And after that, he even spoke to us directly in the bathroom. He said, "Are there any black people in?"
You see, again, she makes the emphasis even more poignantly now that he spoke to us. She's telling every bugger he's a fucking liar down there. That twat is a fucking liar. Isn't anybody going to do anything? He's a fucking liar. Listen to me, I got the testimony, she says. Hey, how she puts emphasis that the gunman spoke to them virtually face to face.
Black people in here.
Come on.
I was too afraid to answer, but there was an African American male in the stall.
Hang on, I haven't gone back far enough. Out there.
I was too afraid to answer, but there was an African American in the bathroom. He said, "Are there any black people?"
Right, sorry. This so-and-so's getting up my pigging nose. I think we've gone back far enough, that's alright.
He even spoke to us directly
See?
in the bathroom.
He spoke to us directly in the bathroom. She had to emphasise that, didn't she? She didn't say, well, he just cried out, but he spoke to us directly. She chose the word.
Spoke to us directly in the bathroom. He said, "Are there any black people in here?" I was too afraid to answer, but there was an African American male in the stall where most of my body was, majority of my body was, had answered. And he said, yes, there are about 6 or 7 of us.
I think we'd best leave it at that. Don't you? So the African male that was with her answered. The gunman as to who was in there. So the other chap who's just given his testimony, what's happened to his testimony? So who's got the right testimony here? The first fella or this girl? Who is telling the truth? You can't have two conflicting testimonies in one cubicle, can you? Oh well, leave it at that. Bye bye.